Hello, this is Parish President Mike Cooper, and welcome back to Open Mic, my monthly show where we discuss how we're working to improve St. Tammany. Building safer, more reliable, and efficient infrastructure continues to be at the forefront of my administration. St. Tammany Parish is responsible for maintaining 1,600 miles of roads and 148 bridges. I'm proud to share that my administration continues to raise the bar for our investments in infrastructure. Last year, we budgeted $27 million towards more than 200 road, bridge, and drainage projects. Work started to widen the W15 drainage canal in Slidell, which benefits more than 10,000 citizens. Bridges like those on 3rd Avenue, Osmond Mill Road, and Million Dollar Road in the Covington area are being replaced, and more than 100 impactful projects are being designed to ensure a better tomorrow. This year, we set a new record again. We budgeted $44 million towards our infrastructure. River Road in Covington is receiving substantial upgrades to enhance efficiency, drainage, and your safety. And segments of Sharp Road and Harrison Avenue will soon begin construction. These investments are not just limited to roadways. My administration is undertaking more initiatives to improve our drainage than ever before. Currently, several major waterways are being cleared of debris from Hurricane Ida. That $12 million project removes 3,400 trees from 97 waterways, including the Little Tchefuncte and Abita rivers, as well as Bayou Liberty and Cypress Bayou. And we're examining our drainage system on a parish-wide level for the first time ever. We're also investing in our water and sewer systems. We're utilizing state and federal funding to expand and create resiliency within our water and sewer systems parish-wide. We continue to meet with the State Transportation Department to prioritize projects and funding for the highways that they maintain in our parish. The first phase of the Collins Boulevard Overpass and Widening Project is now underway. Interstate 12 from Louisiana 59 to Louisiana 21 is now substantially complete and open. We are working with DOTD to review the intersection of Military Road and Gauze Boulevard in Slidell to provide necessary safety improvements. And several roundabouts in Covington, Slidell, and the Madisonville area are in the works. Building infrastructure that allows you and your family to travel our parish safely and more efficiently will always be on the forefront of my administration. Coming up, our parish engineer will join the show to go more in depth on projects and infrastructure that are currently underway and proposed for the future. Please stay with us.
One day when you're driving, you will see a roundabout up ahead. Don't panic. Roundabouts are one-way, circular intersections designed for smooth-flowing traffic with less stop and go. They can help relieve congestion and save lives. The golden rule is you do not have to stop. Simply yield to cars already in the roundabout and proceed slowly. Follow the signs and use your signal when you exit. When you know how they work, roundabouts help traffic move smoothly and safely. So please, share this with your friends and family and be safe.
Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm Michael Vincento, the Director of Public Information for St. Tammany Parish Government. And in this episode, we have a very special guest. Let's jump right into it. Tell us what your department, the Department of Engineering, does for the citizens of St. Tammany Parish.
In addition to overseeing private development, we also oversee all major capital roads and drainage projects.
I want to talk a little bit about the process of going into things, because a lot of people will think, well, you get the money, you put it into the roads, but there's a lot more than that. You have to design it. It's a long process, and it's something that you really have to put the money into the roads years in advance.
Yes, and it depends very much on the complexity of the project. If it's a simple mill and overlay project, those can usually be executed in a year's time. But for your roadway reconstructions, your major detention facilities, you're looking at 5 to 7 years to fully execute a project from conception to completion.
You've been with St. Tammany Parish government for about 2 years now. What's really been your focus as the Director of Engineering for Parish government? What are some of the services that you really focus on?
So we're focusing on first executing on the projects that were already going on in St. Tammany Parish. The next portion is planning for the future. We really have to have a plan with the size of our parish, projecting out capital projects for the next 20 years, which has never been done in St. Tammany Parish.
And we have projects that'll go that far out for 20 years?
Yeah, when it takes 5 to 7 years to execute on a large construction project, sometimes even longer than that, you have to plan out that far. A 5-year plan doesn't work for a 10-year project.
So do we have some of those projects we could talk about? I mean, let's talk about maybe the first few years, some of the larger projects that'll have great impact on the citizens. You maybe think the Sharp Road, the Harrison Avenue, or we're talking about finishing up River Road in Covington. There's a lot of things going on. What are some of the projects?
Yeah, like Sharp Road and Harrison Avenue, for example, those are very large projects. You're looking at $10+ million overall for the projects. So it's pretty substantial for St. Tammany Parish. They require right-of-way, environmental permitting, all these hurdles we have to jump through to execute, which just add years to the construction.
A conversation you and I had maybe a couple of weeks ago, we talked about just the different statuses of St. Tammany Parish. On the eastern side of St. Tammany Parish, it was built out a few decades ago, whereas the western side is dealing with some of the growing pains that they had, that the Slidell area had. So the different focuses, maybe in the Slidell area, it's more of a drainage focus, but you're still looking at the intersections over there as well, mainly the Gauze Boulevard.
Yeah, it's like Slidell's not excluded from traffic problems, but the main focus is drainage in that area. And whereas the west side of the parish, it was a lot of rural roadways years ago, and now it's fully developed for most of the west of St. Tammany, and we got to make roads accommodate that growth.
One of the bigger drainage projects in Slidell, the W15, still ongoing. What's happening there?
This is a great example of a project that takes a long time to execute. It was started, I don't know, 5+ years ago. It's still ongoing, and we're looking to start the third phase, which is a diversion canal to the pond that was constructed in the previous phase soon.
One of the big focuses under President Cooper and this administration is bridges. Looking at we have almost 150 bridges in St. Tammany Parish, and making sure that when we're closing them, it's for repairs, not because we have to close them.
No, if we're closing one, we want it to be during construction or replacement, not for an emergency closure due to inadequacy of the structure. We have a large number, around 70, that are off-system bridges, so those are considered major bridges. In total, we're looking at 170, 200 if you're counting trace bridges. We have 30 bridges on the trace as well, so we have a very large number of them. Bridges are fun projects because they're spot projects. It's a lot of money at a very specific location. You get one bridge for $3 million, whereas you get miles of road for $3 million. So it's a big contrast on what has to be done.
Why is that? Why is it that the bridges, and you have to spend the money because bridges are often the only way in and the only way out for a lot of families in St. Tammany Parish. So why is it so expensive?
The environmental cost and just the general construction of a bridge is more expensive than your typical roadway cost. We require a lot of bridges in St. Tammany Parish. Everybody that's familiar with the parish, you have 7 major drainage basins, more waterways than you can count. It takes a bridge to get there in St. Tammany Parish.
We all love the tree canopy, the beautiful waterways, but when you have all those things, you need the infrastructure that goes around them. I was thinking mainly of the Tammany Trace Bridge. It has to go over Little Bayou Castine and Mandeville that we just opened.
Yes.
A major bridge, but we didn't have to interrupt the nature underneath with the design that you guys did.
Yeah, and the design we took was very specific to limit the environmental issues that would occur for a project. Single span bridge for over 240 feet. It's pretty substantial pedestrian bridge, and we're looking to do the same in Abita. We have that coming up, and we expect to go to construction on the big Abita bridge at the trailhead in Abita next year.
Let's talk about the investments in the Tammany Trace. It's something that's perhaps the most beloved asset for St. Tammany Parish, but you have to continue to invest in it. Last year we put around 6 miles of new roadway in the Lacombe area. This year we just completed it in Mandeville. So talk about the status of the Trace and the need for continued investment in it.
So we're always looking to maintain what we currently have. Again, 30 bridges, I don't know the total length of it. We could say roughly the width of St. Tammany Parish, but it requires a lot of work to maintain. We're also looking into expanding the trace facilities. So we have activities such as the trace connection to Heritage Park in the Slidell area that's ongoing. It has a few complications on it. It's got to cross Gauze Boulevard, so that makes it a little difficult. But we are seeing steady progress towards that project, and hopefully within the next couple of years, we'll have a full connection of the trace to Heritage Park and Slidell.
What are some of the bigger projects that you want to talk about? Some of the things that you're excited about as a parish engineer that maybe people can look forward to in the next couple of years?
And I like the projects that nobody sees. When you dig a large detention pond, they're usually off in a wooded area. Nobody's aware that they're happening. And then once it's done, what people see and recognize is the improvements that it shows. So we have several of those large detention facilities, Bayou Bonfica. We got one Westwood detention pond. We got 7 more in the works, Goodby area. So they're all throughout St. Tammany Parish. And when they're being constructed, you might not see the construction happening, but the results will be seen by everybody.
Yeah, we hope we never get a heavy rainfall. But if we do, those detention ponds are there for a reason.
Yes.
Let's talk about drainage. Your office is overseeing the first ever comprehensive parish-wide drainage plan. Let's talk about the need for that and why it's the first ever, why it's so important.
Right. St. Tammany Parish, we were addressing problems for the most part, but it was a scattered approach. It wasn't brought together under one comprehensive plan in St. Tammany Parish. So we bring it together as one plan, and then this is where the further outlook comes in. It's not just 5 years down the road, it's 20 years down the road. How St. Tammany Parish's funds are going to fund these projects over the next 20 years. What grant opportunities would be available over the next 20 years. So it's really taken all the parish's needs and projecting it out further down the road.
In closing, let's talk about the future of St. Tammany Parish. Your administration and the Department of Engineering with President Cooper's administration as parish president, where would you like to see St. Tammany Parish go? You have obviously a very important role to play as almost one of the head of infrastructure here. So, what does that mean to you and your plan going forward?
The major objective is for all our infrastructure projects, for everybody to know which direction St. Tammany Parish is going, whether it's what we're actively constructing, what we have planned in the future. That's the main objective. Since coming here at St. Tammany Parish, I say we bat 99% on I have this problem that needs to be addressed. It's usually St. Tammany Parish is already working on that problem. So I think it's presenting it to the people so that everybody understands that, yes, we are working on the problems.
This is a sign of progress. Often people see construction, there's growing pains, and it's a good problem to have, but we're at a unique crossroad right now where you have to continue to invest in the roads and put time and money, and good things happen. You see the dividends come from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Any final message you'd like to share with the citizens of St. Tammany Parish as parish engineer?
I look forward to doing more construction in St. Tammany Parish. I know it's sometimes an inconvenience, but when we replace a bridge, that bridge is going to be good for the next 50 years. It might outlast me. So I think it's understanding, the slight inconvenience of our construction projects over the long term of, never having to worry about it again. Absolutely. It's a definite positive benefit.
All right. Thank you, Daniel, for joining the show today.
Thank you.
All right. That's all the time we have for this episode of Open Mic. We hope this has been an insightful episode into President Cooper's record investment in St. Tammany Parish. We'll see you next time.